system where the resource manager is there as use cases, the resource manager has to add the skill, remove the skills, and update the skills, and after defining the skills. So more resource manager use cases. Resource manager not only adding and removing the worker and after the skills also. So he can add the worker, he can remove the worker, he can update the worker by giving the training. And you can see now here the two important aspects of the use cases, that is called the extension of the use cases and then uses of the use cases. So the resource manager remove the worker, uses the finding the worker, and he has to use the one of the use case, that is called as the finding the worker after the removing the worker. Okay, if he is not up to that mark and the skill, and resource manager can update the worker and uses the find the worker. So he has to find the worker of that skill and then he has to update the worker. So first here can add it the worker, he can remove the worker with the finding another worker, he can update the worker finding another worker. And update the worker has got the three parts again. He can extend unassigned skill from the worker. So this is unassigned, assigning the skills to the worker, or you can train that the worker which is not been assigned. So assign the skills to the worker means he has to give the training to that worker and uses the skill and he has to find the skills from that worker. So this is the more steps. And what we are doing, we identify the characters, we identify the use cases and build the use cases as well. Now we go for the simple, that is called the sequence diagram. Draw the sequence diagram. So sequence diagram is like this: assign skills to the worker use case. Now we have got the resource manager. Resource manager is one of the object, and we have got the timing bar. This much time will require to the assigning find the worker. Resource manager has got the user interface, that is the object. He has to find the worker. It will take a time bar and then find the worker by name, found the worker object, and now next is that he has to find the skills. You can see now, go back to the slides, you can see all these things are there in the last slide where we can find the these things. Okay, we can find all these things here, and then we will see now the same thing is happening here, but it is the vertical bar. Vertical bar indicates the timing. Now next we find the skills by the name, assign the skill to the worker. So finding the worker, finding the skill and assigning the skills, three tasks of the resource management has been taken. We have got the skill level, that is the worker does not currently have a skill, then he has to assign a skill to the worker. So he has to train to that worker also. If it has a skill, then skill, he has to find the worker with the skill, he has to find the worker with the name, he has to find the worker without skill, but it has to find out the worker with the skill level, and then he has to assign the worker with the giving a training, and then after getting the rate of that worker, speedy rate of that, knowing that skill, and then if you multiply it, then after some time that worker will get that skill which is required for that particular project. So this is the sequence diagrams used to assign resources to the classes. This is add methods, read sequence diagrams to the identify the necessary methods. Worker are there, name of the worker find worker. Worker can also find the worker. He can list the workers to get the workers. So worker can be one of the employees, that is he may be the manager, or he can be the also the power person. So this is the static worker, static, that is the worker find worker and get and workers and worker get worker. Now in design, this is the last step. Bring methods closer to the implementation. Work list model and worker. Worker has to find the worker. So how can he find the worker? So he has got the work list is there, the get name list elements and get list elements of the how many workers are there to do that particular task, and he has to list the model is there, and then according to the model he has to assign the worker. Worker may be the manager. So worker has got worker is connected to the work list, and work list is connected to the various models to be done into the project. That is the end of our first model. Thank you very much. Listen, this is Dr. Bhagwan.Hanchate on the Diagaram Technology. Thanks for listening.